just who I wanted to see. I'm delighted with the photos you took. Excellent source material. Now, I have all the carving tools ready to go. Would you like to try it together?
Carving tools? You mean these blocks?
That's right. The statues are inside the stones. All we need to do is remove any excess material. To make things a little easier for you, I've provided a guide on how the carving process works. Allow me to demonstrate. First, we make some big, bold cuts to carve out the general shape. The numbers on the stones represent the amount of material you need to keep in a given column. So, first we do this, and then this.
Oh, it's starting to take shape!
Got it? If you carve the blocks this way, you should be able to see the basic form. Then, you just need to add some finishing touches, and voila!
Wait, what? It suddenly changed in the blink of an eye! How'd you do that?
A great mage doesn't reveal her secrets that easily. Just behold and be amazed. You got the basic carving process down, yes? Focus on that and leave the finishing touches to me. Much obliged.
Alright, let's give this a shot! What the? This is way more difficult than the one you walked us through!
Oh, sorry, wrong one. That's the one I was going to work on. Yours is over here.
Whew, well that's a relief. Let's go! Do you still remember Nicole's process? The numbers represent the amount that we need to keep per column. So, if the number is 0, that means we gotta remove the whole thing. And if it says 3, that means we just mark the whole thing as keep, right? one seems to be giving you some trouble. Need any help? Now, we just need Nicole to add the finishing touches.
You got rid of all the extraneous stone, yes? Let me take a look.
It's done! Oh, it's the Mage's Lodge! When did that get there?
Is this the power of a mage? The young visitor's voice was filled with wonder. I am truly amazed.
Aha! Finally, the story continues. So, what happened to the mage and her young visitor?
They lived happily ever after. The end.
Huh?
Tough customers, huh? Well, if you're that eager to hear it, I suppose I'll take it from the top. All my heart desires now is to make your wishes mine, said the young woman. Those words won her the full attention of the great mage, Nicola Coco. But just as they had started warming up to one another, a group of uninvited guests stormed in, seized the mage, and absconded with her. As the youngster stood there in shock, a new mage by the name of Alinus appeared. She signed a contract with the youngster, bestowing the power of magic upon them. But after making it through a grueling training program, they would come to discover another conspiracy operating in the background. As it turned out, the great mage Nicola Coco was an alien entity. Her true identity was the first daughter of King Meowtress, the third of Planet Meow. She had come disguised as a mage as part of a secret plot to trick the entire world into worshipping Planet Meow. Oh, great mage! Have you been lying to me all this while? The youngster's voice trembled as their heart began to break. Leave me. War is destined to break out between our planet and yours. We were foes from the very start. The mage turned her face away, refusing to let anyone see the tears welling up in her eyes. But the youngster bravely reached out and grabbed her by the arm, swearing to never leave her. Moved by this display of passion, the mage decided to rebel. But in that moment, Alinus, who had once aided the youngster, now took the side of the king. Alinus had been Meowtress III's second daughter all along. She had only helped the youngster in the hopes that her sister might be incited to treason, thus giving her the chance to usurp Nicola's place in the line of succession. Anyway, that's the gist of it. In the end, the youngster, who by this point had turned into a cat, worked with the mage to successfully foil the king's plot. Then, they returned to the mage's lodge together and lived happily ever after in peace and quiet. The end.
That was amazing! This story has everything! True love, rebellion against injustice.
That can't be helped. All creations escape the controlling grasp of their creator eventually. We angels are a case in point. Once, we were tasked with guiding human beings, but because some of us chose a different path, our entire race was punished. If even the heavenly principles can't fully control their own creations, what chance do I stand? Fate is always ineffable, and yet, I still hope I can guide those I meet towards a happy ending to their tale. That applies to characters in my stories as well. Anyway, the story's over now, and I'm running a little low on energy. Next time I've got a good story to tell, I'll share it with you, all right? Building my mage's lodge was quite a rewarding experience. But as everyone knows, any mage worth her salt owns more than one garden. It's time to pick a new location, I think. There is actually a very simple reason for it. If I only ever built one home, I might have to wait forever before someone stumbles in by mistake. Not that I'm looking to build a bustling tourism hotspot or anything, but it would be a little embarrassing if no one ever visited at all. It'd be a bit like spending days preparing for an extravagant birthday banquet, only for no one to show up on the day. And that is why I must expand my territory. A mage's power and might must be witnessed by the outside world, if only once in a while. My oh my. The final product has exceeded all my expectations. If anyone actually does stumble in here by mistake, I'm sure they will be truly awe-inspired by this mage's might. Well, that all depends on the sort of person they are. Guidance can encourage complacency and entitlement if you're not careful. If someone is eager to rely on their own abilities like you do, then I'll gladly help them. But if they're the type of person who pins all their hopes on the mage's power while doing none of the work themselves...
Would you really turn them into a statue?
No, nothing like that. But I would guide them out of this place to the nearby Curatorium of Secrets. I'm sure Nefer would know how to deal with them much better than I do. Those who seek to reap without sowing ought to pay the price. Don't you think? The past. As everyone knows. Well, actually, hardly anyone knows. Anyway, when the angels were destroyed, they had to sacrifice either their preferred form or their power. I chose to keep both. But from another point of view, you could say I lost both. I remain human enough in appearance, but I will always be fundamentally different. For instance, what human could exist for thousands of years without going at least a little mad? Not to mention dying. Meanwhile, I've lived so long that I can't help but miss the way things used to be once in a while. Not exactly. I led a pretty boring life back then, especially compared to now. But I did have a lot of friends around. It was a lively time. If I had to pinpoint what I'm nostalgic for, it's not any one friend in particular, nor is it the time I spent as an angel. Rather, I simply miss the race of angels as a whole.